You've worked with a few cult horror personalities. How do those collaborations usually get going? How do they come together?
Uh, you know, honestly, for making movies for 21 years, I usually just name drop somebody or kidnap a celebrity's loved one and say, if you ever want to see them again, you'll do this cameo.
All
So,
right, so that's what I got to do to get interesting, to get more interviews on this channel, I guess.
oh,
Start
yeah, you just
kidnapping
say
people.
you work with James Balsamo, and then people be like, oh, I'll never do the show.
What's going on, guys? I'm Brett, and welcome to Monsters and Madmen, the channel where we dive into the world of horror, the people who live it, and the legends that refuse to die. Today's guest has made a name for himself in the underground horror scene. He's an actor, director, producer, and is the brains behind some of the wildest, most blood-soaked, over-the-top independent horror films that I've ever seen. He's done movies like Hack Job, Cool as Hell, The Lich, many more. It's unbelievable the list that's out there. Um, he's built a reputation for doing horror his own way, like you've never seen it before. The founder of Acid Bath Production, ladies and gentlemen, James Balsamo. What's going on, man?
Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Brett.
Absolutely, right? Yeah, I worked hard on it. I worked hard on it.
All right, with a start like that. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Of course. So you made your first film, Hack Job, when you were 19 years old. That correct?
Yeah, I started it when I was 19. I didn't finish it until I was 24. So I was
Okay.
for Lloyd Kaufman, and I got Lloyd in it and Debbie Rochon in it, and you know, I started making this movie while I was an intern there, and then I started playing in a band in college, and I wanted to play music, and so I stopped at a 40-minute. Technically, it was a feature. I'd finished this movie called The Mark. I don't know if you've seen Hack Job,
I've
but it's
heard of it. Yeah.
it's the main chunk of Hack Job is that first film that I started, and so it's about a guy that gets possessed to kill televangelists,
Yeah.
and I don't want to spoil it. We just had our 15-year anniversary come out, so
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
out at Walmart now. You can go get that. So if you haven't seen it, check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I'll
But
I'll check that out for sure.
It's
At
got
least at Walmart.
at Walmart. It's got the late Dave Brocky, aka Otis Rungus from Gore, is in Hack Job, and so
Okay.
like I said, I started making that movie when I was 19. And I didn't finish it until I was 24, and that's when I got Gore in it. And we made a few more stories in the connective tissue, and that was it.
Yeah.
I've been making features ever since.
I noticed that metal is a pretty big part of your film. Music is a pretty big part of your films.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
mean,
didn't know you were in a band until I saw it on your Facebook page. I saw you did a gig pretty recently, right? A few days ago.
yeah, we played the Whiskey last week, and we're going to play the Whiskey a Go Go in Los Angeles again on May 13th. So if
Nice. That's
anybody's
pretty cool.
listening, come see us. And we had Techno Destructo from Guar. It's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
still with members of
That's pretty
Guar.
cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you remember what first pulled you into like the horror genre? Like, is there a filmmaker or a movie that is an inspiration for your style that you do that's very unique?
Uh, so I wanted to be in horror movies after I had seen Friday the 13th Part 3. When that
Okay.
girl gets put on the meat hook in the barn, I was like, oh, I want to play that Jason Voorhees character. And I was terrible at sports. And so my mom was like, "Oh, do you want to try acting school because you're never going to be Babe Ruth?" You know? And
Fair enough.
so I said, "Yeah, I want to be, I could be the guy in the mask like Jason." She was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can do so much more than that." And I was like, "No, I want to do horror, like from 8." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that was always the goal was horror.
Yeah. I think I heard in a separate interview that you did that you started recording when you were like 8 years old, like your action figures or something. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. I had a VHS camera and I had like a Spider-Man toys and stuff like that. And I would, what I mean. I still love action figures. Like my
Yeah.
whole desk is like filled with stuff like that, Snarf and Radfink and
Actually, I actually just was going through a bunch of my old figures too. I was handing down a bunch of them to my son. He's 4. I have like a bunch of old like Walking Dead figures and stuff like that.
oh, sweet. Yeah, so I love toys, and then after making a few movies, I made a few action figures and stuff of my own, like the James Balsamo Mad Ball
Nice.
Salmo, the
Is
Mad
that
Ball.
officially licensed?
Yeah, so
Nice, nice. Um, you've worked with a few cult horror personalities. How do those collaborations usually get going? How do they come together?
uh, you know, honestly, for making movies for 21 years, I usually just name drop somebody or kidnap a celebrity's loved one and say if you ever want to see them again, you'll do this cameo.
All
So
right, so that's what I got to do to get interesting, to get more interviews on this channel, I guess.
oh
Start
yeah, you just
kidnapping
say
people.
you worked with James Balsamo, and then people be like, "Oh, I'll never do your show." That guy's a
I think this
maniac.
is going to be one of the more unique interviews I've ever done. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, thank you for that awesome
yeah,
introduction. But yeah, so like honestly, I've worked with so many people now. I just say, I've worked with the Doors and Pantera and Judas Priest and
yeah,
Metallica and Devo, Weird Al. What are you doing? Come on, hop on the
yeah,
train. Let's go.
yeah. There you go.
I got Claudio Simonetti from Goblin and the new Goblin band in my movie Robot Dracula. That's out now. So
That one's awesome. Check out Robot Dracula. That's a cool one. Yeah.
yeah, Robot Dracula's super fun. It's got like over 100 celebrity cameos in it. John Landis is in it. Robert from Metallica's in it. Mark from Devo's in it. Don Coscarelli's in it, which I thought was really cool. It's like his first on-screen appearance. He hits me in the head with a bedpan.
That's a pretty cool credit to have. Um, is there someone you haven't worked with that you want to put out into the universe that you would like to? Anyone specific?
Uh, yeah, I really want Tom Araya from Slayer. I've been trying to get him
Yeah.
in something. It just the stars haven't aligned yet. I got Gary Holt from Slayer, so
Okay.
I know I'll get him.
It's
It's
possible.
coming.
It's there.
It's coming.
So what's your like? I mean, what's your writing process, man? Where do you come up with some of these ideas? Like, especially like movies like Robot Dracula and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I had Phil Tippett in one of my movies, and he said something very kindred to me because I had asked him the same thing. I said, "Where do you get these things?" And he said, "I just kind of pluck them from the cosmos." And then while we were having a drink, somebody recognized me for directing "I Spill Your Guts," which I thought
Um,
was crazy because I'm like, "I'm with Phil Tippett. Why do you know to see me? This man did Star Wars and RoboCop."
that must have felt good though. That must have felt
But yes, same thing. Like you said, the universe, they just present these crazy things, and how can I say no to Robot Draculas?
Yeah, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Um, do you think there's something like, I guess, missing from mainstream horror that maybe independent creators like yourself are putting out there? Like, would you say there's a difference?
Yeah, I would say modern horror films have started to cut out nudity, and that is such a
Yeah,
blueprint
very
in
cut
in
recently.
horror. Yeah, no, I know. Like, not to knock Eli Roth. I think he's great. I just was really surprised. The new feature of Thanksgiving had no nudity when the original trailer, which was made, you know what I mean, over a decade ago, was
Yeah.
littered with nudity, and it was very, you
The
know.
trailer shouldn't be more taboo than the feature film later on,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think we're just living in a time where, you know what I mean. It's modern films. They're just so worried with like a lot of the politics of working with nudity, but it's like it's been such a staple in horror for so long. I think that's why I I do such an extreme version of that. Like I don't just do topless. I always try to do full nudity. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just so it like I love those '70s
Like,
exploitation films, and
like
you know what I mean? Like
it's cool to see in the independent scene, you know?
yeah,
I'd imagine it's pretty important, but how important would you say that fan feedback is for what you do?
it's really important. And I'll tell you, for doing conventions for the last 15 years, a lot of fans come up to me and they they're not familiar with my work, they'll ask, is there nudity in this? You know what I mean? Because mainstream has been straying away, and I'm like, yeah, this is the spot. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that made Breast
Rock
Friends
and
stuff.
roll, brother. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
So,
Um, do you have like a fan interaction that kind of stuck out to you? Anything crazy at one of these conventions or anything?
people always have interesting things to say. I love it when somebody comes up with a movie from home, or you know what I mean, one of my films, or you know what I mean, a
Yeah,
poster. They're like, "Oh, can you sign this?" And
that's
that's
pretty
always
neat.
shocking. And then people always say interesting things like, "Is there naked Asian women in this? Because I have yellow fever." And then you're like, "Oh, I don't think that's appropriate to say to
I don't know
me
how to
or
respond.
ever in
Yeah.
public, but it's hilarious nevertheless." And this film does, so enjoy.
Fair enough, dude. That's interesting. I wouldn't know how to respond to that
Yeah,
at all.
sometimes I've definitely been flabbergasted, and then you know, uh, how do I Asperger's and you know mental illness runs rampant in
Yeah.
some of these shows, and people just say wild things. You know what I mean? They just say wild things, and you're just like,
You
okay.
make wild films, man. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you one of the best ones. Uh, Somebody came up to me and they said, "Can my clients be in one of your movie?" And I was like, "Maybe. Who's your client?" And they're like, "Twisted." I was like, "Yeah, Twisted could be in a movie. Let's do
Yeah,
it right now."
absolutely. So if someone watching this somewhere says, I want to be the next Balsamo," what's your advice for someone that maybe wants to get into independent horror filmmaking like you do?
I'd say just pick up a camera and start shooting. You know what I mean? I think trial by fire is the best way to make a movie, and every project is so different that
Yeah,
you kind of just have to jump into whatever lake of water or lake of blood that you're creating and figure out where the monsters are and how to navigate it. I'll tell you, basic filmmaking, learn the 180 rule, and that is the only standard I adhere to. You know what I mean? And just remember, it's entertainment. So make sure you're putting in something that people are going to have to sit there and watch. So you don't need awful dialogue. You could just put something fun in there, like a
yeah,
talking monster that
yeah.
eats
Why
and a naked
not?
lady.
Yeah, there's an Evil Bong franchise, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, horror especially is very subjective. So,
Yeah, and
um,
what's nice about horror fans is they're so welcoming. Like whatever crazy idea.
I've said that before. Everyone's very nice when they're out in public.
Oh yeah, and it's great is that like a monster story or ghost or any horror, like it's like whatever you can come up with, people are like, yeah, I watch that. You know,
Yeah, why not?
monster toaster from outer space, I'm in. Like, well,
Throwing it on. Yeah, absolutely.
believe it.
So what's next for you? Is there any new projects coming out? Anything that fans could look forward to?
Yeah. So I just put out It Wants Blood 2. It's got Weird Al in it, and it's Coolio's last movie. And then I also released Werewolf in a Tank, where I went to Canada and drove a military tank as a blue werewolf.
That's badass.
And then Canadian Centaur is on the way too. The top half is Mountie, the bottom half is Moose.
Nice. So finally then before we sign off here, again, I really appreciate you agreeing to even
Thanks
do
for
this.
taking the time.
If someone wants to support you, you want to plug your things here, let them know how they could do that.
Yeah, go to jamesbalsamo.com and get yourself a cool T-shirt, or you can get all my movies wherever films are sold, Walmart, or stream them on Amazon Prime. And if anybody wants to make a movie, I collaborate. If you put in half the budget, I'll put in the other half, and we'll split it 50-50, and it'll come out through my distribution. I'm trying to
Dude,
hit 1,000 feature film products this year. I'm at 846 at
you're
the moment.
close.
So,
Yeah, you're getting there.
Most
So
certainly.
you heard that, guys. Reach out to James, man. Get some films going.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was fun.
Appreciate it. This was one of the better interviews I think I'm ever gonna do. So so I appreciate it.
I,
You're very entertaining.
oh, good. That's what I'm here for. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
Thank you guys so much for watching. That was James Balsamo. Obviously, very cool guy, very cool independent horror filmmaker there. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. He actually just sent me a copy of one of his newer films, It Wants Blood too, so I'm going to go check that out tonight. So thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.